Hi guys, and today I'm at Hampton Court for the Concours of Elegance. It's one of my favorite events here in London because it is absolutely always packed with some incredible cars, some of the most amazing cars that you'll get to see anywhere in the world, both classic and vintage. You can see some of these amazing machines behind me already. Now it is predicted to be rainy today, but let's not let that dampen our spirits as we take a walk around and see what we can find at this incredible event. Bentley 4.5 litre Le Mans 1928, not a blower, no supercharger at the front. SLR 722 2009. A Toyota GR Yaris. Is it a classic? I don't know if it's a classic yet, but I'm pretty sure that it will one day be a classic. Aston Martin DBS, probably the one to get out of all the current ones. Logic removable paint, interesting. Two icons from the prancing horse, but I've got to say this is the one that catches my eye. Didier Oriol, oh man, check it out, that is a rally car. X-Works Delta Integrale, Deltona 1992. Described as, let me read this to you, described as the ultimate Integrale. Most successful works car built by Abbott for the 1992 season. Just absolutely awesome. And then you have 918 Spider from 2015. 2015 already? Gosh, still new in my mind. Fiat Dino, this is a 1972 2.4 Spider. It's one of those cars that potentially is an acquired taste, but I have to say over the years, from initially not liking the car, I've got to like it more and more. And I like that sort of cut off front end. You know, the front end feels like it's not finished, but actually it is. But yeah, these are definitely appreciating in value now. Something special. Another Bentley. This one's a 1957 Bentley S1 4-door lightweight saloon. Isn't it laughable when they call it a lightweight saloon? I mean that, even visually, that is in no way a lightweight saloon. But what a thing though, very elegant. A 1959 Porsche 356 T2A Coupe. Love the baby blue on this one. I'm surprised the wheels are not done. The wheels have got the mirrored hubcaps, but they're not finished in the baby blue as I kind of expected them to be. Moving on to the Aston Martin. This is a 1960 Aston Martin DB4 Series 2 Coupe. So again, not a DB5 like Bond had, but the one before that. 1930 Aston Martin International. That's an Aston Martin. Look at the badge. Look at the original. Can you make that out? The original Aston Martin badge on that one. Actually, there's another version down here. And you can see the engine. Look at that. That's something you have to tweak and learn to tweak yourself, I imagine, if you're going to drive that. We've got a 1961 Austin Healey 3000 Mark 1 Works Rally Apocalypse. This is a car that has been in the wars. You can see it's not, winner. Oh, winner, 1960 Liege Rome. Austin Healey. Look at the 3000 badge. Isn't that so cool? Ford Cobra. This is in fact a 1963 AC Cobra 289. Look at this thing. That's about as rough as you'll ever see something at an event like this. Look at the bumper. That is surely, I feel like if I touch that it will just crumble. California number plates on this car. This is a 1955 Ferrari 250 GT Europa Coupe. Look at the bonnet. This is literally untouched. Having said that, that engine has been cleaned up. This is more of a rat rod, isn't it? Because that has surely been restored. And again, so too, well, the interior I wouldn't say it's been restored, but it's nice. But this, look at it, look at the wheels, look at the wire wheels. Yeah, the boot spaces, look at it, look how nicely trimmed the interior boot spaces. Again, just check out the wheels and the wheels. You have to spend hours cleaning them, that's for sure. Concours of Elegance Pebble Beach. That's a cool rat rod Ferrari, that is. Very cool. So this is a 1953 Bristol 404 Coupe. I have to be honest, not really a fan of Bristols, but there you go. Oh, well, I tell you what though, let's just have a look at the back of this thing, because that's extraordinary. Let's look at that. That is a heck of a fin. Wowzers. And the thing is, you notice the two fins on either side as well, along with the one in the middle. I mean, what did that even achieve? I mean, it's just there to cut the air, isn't it? It's not creating any drag or anything. It's an extraordinary arrangement. Look at the way it's been peaked there. Beautifully trimmed interior. Nicely presented car, but a bit of an oddity, that one. Gorgeous blue Aston Martin. I like the colour on this one. This is a 1966. This is the DB5 V8. This is the development prototype coupe. Wow. So I wonder if this is the one that the Bond producers had to go in first. Escaped being scrapped. So this is the development car. No space in the back. Oh, look at the center console. Very different from what you remember. It's got screen fitted in it. Somebody's fitted a screen in this. Yeah, there's a Kenwood screen. Is that sacrilege to have a Kenwood screen in it? Or does it just mean that it's being used and that's a good thing? Oh, now when I think 911s, oh, do you see these two here? When I think 911s, This is the kind of car that I visualize. These are Carreras, both of them. I love the script on that. That's just so cool. This is a 1974 911 Carrera RS 3 litre in Guards Red, and with this amazing 70 style script on this one, which I think is just fantastic. That's so cool. It's just like you can't make out it's Carrera, but you know that it is Carrera. The gold Porsche script. This is a 74 911 Carrera RS 3 litre in Mexico blue. This is 1968. 68 is a good year. 68 330 GTS in black, and it's just beautiful. I mean, that's just so elegant. Oh, look at that. And the keys are in it. Oh, that's so bad to leave a car like that with the keys in it, with all these petrol heads like me around. Why? Like leaving an open box of candies. Look at the bonnet mascot on this thing. What the hell? That's hilarious. 1933 Delahaye D8S. What are all these? Are these vents? They all open up. It's like chopped and dropped. Cut top. Look at the window. What a thing. More incredible cars here, and we have a 1929 Bentley 4.5 litre Vanderpla Open Tourer, and honey, I shrunk the F1 car. That's what's happened there. Oh dear. A Ferrari that has been miniaturized. Look at this thing. The Jaguar XJR 15 from 1991. Tom Wilkinson, right? I think developed these cars. Correct me if I'm wrong. Brabham it's got on it. Racing overalls in the driver's seat. That's weird. It's like the human just got vanished out of them, and all that was left were the racing overalls. But yeah, a car with so much more promise than it actually fulfilled in its day, and overshadowed, of course, a lot by the XJ220. This is not an XJ220. This is a Porsche Carrera GT, but it's a Zagato in 2005. Where are the Zagato bits on this? Well, there's a Zagato badge on it. I see that. But otherwise, it still looks like a GTZ. It still looks like a regular GT. It's a heck of a thing. Powered by BMW. But of course it is a 1997 McLaren F1 GTR. And this incredible thing, 2022 Ferrari Monza SP1. So this is the one where it is actually only a one-seater. I mean, there isn't even a seat on the other side. It's just like there's just a compartment looks like there. I don't actually even see a seat on that side. This one's been used. It's dirty. That's for sure. I mean, it's either utterly brilliant or utterly bonkers, and a little bit of a waste of space. Let's move on to this. Look at the number plate on that. That gives the game away. EB110 SS. It's got my initials on it. I should have this. Super Sport is what it actually stands for. So Bugatti, when they kind of made their real sort of comeback, was with this car. Michael Schumacher famously had one. And here's sort of the most current version of it. What is it? The Bugatti Devo from 2021. This is the 1938 Bugatti Type 57C Drophead Coupe. Isn't that pretty? But check this out. This is a Vauxhall, 1925 Vauxhall 1398 Wensum. Look at the badge. Luton. Wow. That's the original Vauxhall badge. Imagine that. That's a heck of a thing though. Pretty. This is also beautiful. So elegant. 1939 Lagonda V12 Rapide. This is a Rapide. And next to this, I mean, oh gosh, do you get more grand than this? Rolls-Royce 1912 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost Touring. I mean, let's just have a look inside, because these things are just so beautiful, with all the knobs and dials. Oh, amazing. And here, rather on its lonesome, is a bruised, battered, battle-scarred 1955 Ferrari 500 Mondial Scaglietti. It's definitely been in the wars. I mean, just look at the pitting on the bonnet. Wow. This thing is used. We'll probably see this at the revival, I imagine. Look at that. All scarred and everything. That's how it should be. This is one of the... I'm not normally a Zagato fan, but this is one of the sexiest Aston Martins in existence. The 1961 Aston Martin DB4 GT Zagato. Just the voluptuous lines on this thing. I mean, it's just, you know, if a car could turn you on, I think this would be it. I mean, just look at it. I mean, even the wheels, when people always go for low profile tires, I mean, look at that. They are just... You talk about curves that you can grab hold of. Sorry, I should look away now. I think that's just getting a little bit pornographic, but so is this. Look at the interior on this thing. Isn't that absolutely delightful? And that is 1956 Maserati AG6, another Zagato. Look at the grille. An extraordinary bit of architecture there. Some more icons over here for you. We have a 1955 Ferrari 750 Monza. Now this one again, bruised and battle scarred, properly been in the wars. I mean, you can see that is used and raced, and look at all of that. That is proper. And that's not mollycoddled. Put it that way. That has been in the wars. This one hasn't though, and you wouldn't blame the owner for being particularly meticulous with it. Short wheelbase, and the interesting thing about this one is that this is the actual short wheelbase, and I was looking earlier at the RML short wheelbase, which obviously aims to emulate this car, also based on a Ferrari 550, that one. This is a 1961 Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase, competition 61 safe-back hot rod. Wow. Now you see the width of this thing, the proportions just seem perfect, whereas the proportions of that one, it just seemed like it had been widened. It just seemed a bit wrong, whereas this one is just beautiful. So in that way, I'm going to propose something that I think a lot of people may be upset to hear, but I think rather than the RML short wheelbase, which costs $1 gazillion and is being beautifully produced and tested and all the rest of it, but a good kit car based on the BMW Z3 is more of a homage to this than that is. That's my contentious statement for today. 1954 Ferrari 250 GT Europa Vignale Coupe. Pretty, but not as adorable and as exciting as the 1957 Ferrari 500 TRC. That is beautiful. It is gorgeous. You just want to get in it and race it, and you know it'll just win, because it will. But look at this. This looks like a Dino, but it's not really. It's a 1966 Ferrari 365 Berlinetta Special Triposti Coupe, because if you look inside, and this is where it gets really weird. Talk about being a bit wider than a Dino, or a bit wider than you think. That thing has got 3 seats in it, with a central driving position, way before the McLaren F1, of course. Look where the gear lever is. See that? You see there's another seat on the other side. Can you make that out? I know there's a lot of reflections, but... Or maybe you can see through the glass roof, the full glass roof. Again, too many reflections. But look at it, look how wide it is. It's like a Dino that's been stretched, widened and pulled. But what an amazing thing. Don't see that very often, nor do you see these very often, because it's the Holy Grail, isn't it? You know, the most expensive Ferraris in existence. Ferrari 250 GTO. This one isn't black, it's bruised and scratched. It's not immaculate. This is 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO, and it is just stunning. Now you know a car must be truly special, even if you don't know why it is, because it's roped. And if you think about the sort of cars that are just parked up here at Hampton Court, the incredibly valuable and prestigious cars that are just sitting around, and then you see something that's roped off, you go, okay, there's something else about this one. Okay, I know what it is now. I've just seen the placard. It is a 1969 Aston Martin DB6 Volante, but this is Prince Charles's car. This is the Prince of Wales's car. This is Charles Blue, I would say. That's his car. So that is the, wasn't it Prince William? Was it that actually had this, who drove off in it in his wedding? He borrowed it from Dad. So that must be that car. So now we know why that car is roped off. 1923 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost shooting brake. Imagine shooting brake. Look at the body on this thing. Look at that. Look at the construction. So you've got the driver at the front there, and then you've got basically a wagon at the back. Look at that. How many people could you get into this? That's an MPV. That is the original Rolls-Royce Cullinan family SUV MPV. That's what that is. This thing. Look at this. And again, see the fin on the back. Can you make that out? Isn't that unusual? Fin. This was the concept of aerodynamics. Oh, but look at the interior. I don't know if you can make out the shine off that steering wheel, massive instrument panels, the shine off these exhaust outlets. Unbelievable, massive white wall Firestone tires. So 1938 Delahaye DB D8 120 de Villiers. Is it Delahaye or Delage? What do you say? What do you say? I've been saying Delahaye, but maybe it's Delage. Somebody correct me. Because then if you say Delahaye, then you're confusing with Delahaye, right? So maybe it is Delage. Alfa Romeo, 1949, Alfa Romeo 6C 2500 SS, a touring Berlinetta. Beautiful blue color on this, but doesn't really appeal to me, I'll be honest. This does. Look at that. That's like something out of my childhood, that is. 1963 ATS 2500 GT Coupe. What even is it? What even is this? It just says GTS. It's a Alemano? Okay, anybody in line who knows more about this, please tell me, because it's pretty. And if you can look, I don't know if you won't be able to make it out, but if you can look in through here, you can see the engine. That's beautiful. Look at this. Little carriage on wheels there. 1903 Panhard Levasseur. But this thing, oh, what the heck? That is like a vintage Batmobile. Look at this. I mean, what the heck? 1938 Hispano Suiza 86B Dubonnet Xenia from the Mullin collection. But that's a cartoon. That's like I would have drawn it if I was a kid growing up in the 1920s. 1938 though. But look the design of this canopy. This sort of bubble body. I have not seen anything like that before. Just look at, I don't know if you can make out the contours and the curve on this thing, but it's just extraordinary. And the flowing back. Oh, look at the door. Look at the double hinge on the door. But it is, you see what I mean, Batmobile. It's got the wings of the bat on the back. Look at this. This is probably the most extraordinary car at the show today, in my opinion. They always have something that's knockout. There was one year they had that big thing with the massive fan on the front. It was a fan car. But that's incredible. Look at that double hinge door as well. Amazing. Let's move to the blue train that's not blue, it's green. This is 1930 Bentley Speed 6. As I said, blue train coupe, and next to it, well, what quote does this remind you of? Racing is life. Everything before and after is just waiting. This is a 1969 Porsche 917 917K Race Proto 2020 Best of Show, and that is just waiting. Move quickly across here because I have heard that this thing is electric by London Electric Classic Cars. Oh, beautifully appointed. Just look at the finishing on this thing. That is incredible. 1960 Austin FX4 sedan car Brougham coachwork by FNL Panelcraft and electrified by London Electric Cars. It's amazing, and apparently they're trying to get this registered as a London taxi cab. Look at the lamps. Isn't that gorgeous? It's got a Lucas light bulb in there. Well, that ain't gonna last, is it? Beautiful. And hello. Looking fantastic. And that is just gorgeous. Rolls-Royce. So this is also from the Peninsula residences in London. So 1935 Rolls-Royce Phantom to Sedanka DeVille, coachwork by Gurney Nutting. Nutting, love that name. Nutting. Lotus are here again in the usual spot, with the Emira, with the Avaya, and now with the Electra opposite them. Porsche. What do you think of the Electra? Tell me what you think. Would you have one? Is this your next electric family SUV? Look at the bonnet on this thing. Look at that. I suppose it would be. If I became a Lotus owner, which obviously is my ambition one day, to own a classic Esprit, to own probably an Emira, the Toyota V6 one, and then for the family it would have to be that, wouldn't it? Look at that. That's an extraordinary colour scheme on that. Reminds me a little bit of the John Player Lotus Esprit, dare I say. I shouldn't really, because isn't that sacrilegious? Bizzarini support vehicle. Bizzarini are normally here in this corner as well. It's normally where they're to be found. Here are their cars. Modern reinterpretations of classic cars, classic racers. Beautiful things. If you like E-types, then this is your bit of car porn for you right here. And that's just gorgeous. Look at that. Evolution E-type low drag speedster. Newly built. So is this newly built? Evolution E-types. These are newly built. And they are just gorgeous. Oh, I'd have that Roadster. Wow, look at that thing. Another thing I would have drawn as a kid, I think. 1972 Di Tommaso Mangusta. Look at the way it's got that sort of very sharp cuts to it, sharp lines. But more importantly, look at the rear of it. Look how that's all open. That's incredible. Amazing. What a thing. There's a conversation going on. This is the thing about events like this. You turn up and then there's the people that bring the cars to life, and there's somebody, I think the owner there or somebody who knows the car very well, telling people about how the writing, the inscription in the car is in German and the handbrake is off a Mercedes. 1969 Aston Martin DB6 Vantage Series 1 Volante. 1924 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost Piccadilly Roadster. Look at this. A Silver Ghost. It's sporty. It's sporty and massive at the same time. Now that thing is making a very strange noise and is also emitting a lot of smoke. This is a 1911 Stanley Steamer, Model 62 Tourer. This is a steam car, and it's steaming. So this is a 1935 Jensen S1 Sports Tourer. I think if it takes that much to wake up a car in the morning, it's no wonder steam cars didn't catch on. 1968, great vintage Ferrari Dino 206 GT in orange. It's been tangoed. This looks fantastic. I just want to drink that up. And another great color, 1931 Rolls-Royce 2025 Swept-tail Sports Saloon in the green and white. I'll tell you what, you could drive this on Pakistan Independence Day, couldn't you? That would be the perfect color. This 92 McLaren MP47, and is it? Why? Yes, it is Senna's car. Yes, I thought it would be, and it is. So there is a piece of motoring mythology, motor racing mythology right there. Senna's McLaren. Isn't that amazing? 1955 Austin Healey 100S. Pretty thing. So it's very clean, very compact. No nonsense. Look, there's holes in the seats, probably to save weight. That's a pretty car. Elegant and pretty and sporty, all at the same time. 1951 Porsche 356 split window coupe, hence the split window. See that? Make that out? Oh, look at this thing, so elegant. 1937 Alvis Speed 25 Special 2-seater sports. You know, Alvises, they're actually making them brand new now, off the same plans that they originally did, but brand new examples of it using the same blueprints. Extraordinary. Ooh, look at this. 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Coupe gull wing. You know, if I'm having a bit of a moment looking at this thing, can you imagine what I'm feeling looking at one of my childhood icons, one of my absolute heroes, basically the ultimate wedge of the wedge-shaped generation, the only car that out Esprit's an Esprit, although Esprit runs it pretty close, believe you me, in my mind anyway. 1976 Lamborghini Countach LP400 Periscopia, because it has no well, it has a rear view mirror actually, but it also has a little window, so it's like a periscope. You can see there, this is the Periscopia. That's what you actually see out of when you look through the mirror. And actually, I don't know if you can make it out, but I can. From here, I can actually make that out. It's about as close as I can get. But you can actually see, so if you're looking through the mirror, you're looking through that little slot. Isn't that amazing? What a thing. People say these will cramp. I've driven these. Once you're inside, it's fine. Beautiful interior. Extraordinary thing. Look at that V12. Oh, that's legendary. And this is the originator of the supercar mythology. 1971 Lamborghini Miura SV. Arguably the car for which the coin supercar was created by one LJK Setright of Car Magazine. And that's got the, doesn't have the eyelashes on that one. I like the eyelashes. 1908 Dirac SS Corsa. That's just a chassis and engine and 2 seats. A bit more elegant. 1912 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, London to Edinburgh. I guess that's what it did. I like the red pinstriping on this, hence starting the tradition of pinstriping that exists till today on Rolls-Royces. This is pretty. 1964 Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ1. Look at that. It's so compact, it's so tiny, you won't be able to make it out, but it's really quite tiny. And yet, it just goes on at the back. It's really nice sort of camtail finish on it. Beautiful 1965 Ferrari 275 GTB 6C. Just beautiful. Bulges in all the right places. 1930 Cord L29 Brougham. Look at that. Look at the rooster.
Somebody who knows something. Part of the problem. That's why we lose all our.
The detail on that is just incredible. There's a there's a plane flying overhead. 1936 Bentley 4.5 litre Vet and Zoon. So hopefully you can still hear me. 1968, another great vintage Ford GT40 Mark III in a kind of burgundy maroon. Very nice. Apparently I can't fit in it. I've sat in replicas, I haven't sat in the original. 1967 Ferrari 330 GTS. Nice blue on that. Nice and metallic. Very nice. See yourself doing. Oh, just look at this lineup of cars here. It's like you've, wandered into a scene from The Great Gatsby or something. 1933 Packard 12 1005 Coupe Roadster. 1934 Packard 12 1107 convertible Coupe Roadster. Oh, I want to show you this. Just check this out. Isn't that brilliant? They've all got slightly different ones. Swan-like one on there, flying swan. 1934 Packard 12 1107 formal sedan. Oh, this is formal. Now we're formal.
What about the Packard?
Look at that. That's the coupe and that's the sedan. In brown. Wow. Well, brown is profound. 1936 Packard 12 1007 convertible Victoria. Victoria. No bonnet mascot on that one. But beautiful pinstriping. Oh. Lovely. 1936 Packard 12 1407 all-weather cabriolet. How can a cabriolet be all-weather? Can only be sunshiny, right? White wall tires are gorgeous. Indiana number plate for the 1938 Packard 12 1607 convertible coupe, and finally this is not a Packard. This of course is a Bentley. And there's a blower behind. Modern supercars, Lamborghinis, Bentleys, Rolls-Royces, Ferrari Roma, Huracan STO, and let's see what we've got over here. Bentley Mulliner, and this is in fact the new Bouchard, as I called it, the successor to the Baklava. This is the Bouchard. Let's have a look, a close look at this radical reinterpretation of the way that Bentley design is going to go forward. Of course, the headlights and everything at the front are different. Well, the headlights are not round anymore, so that's different in a sense. That's completely new, the way that they've done that. See where the grille is more upright, but it's not as tall as you might have expected. And the headlights are very, very different, very pear-shaped, slimline rather than big round things. It's weird because it has sort of the overall sort of shape. I mean, you recognize it as a Bentley, but you don't recognize it as a Bentley in the details. That front end is sloping much, much further down than I would have thought for a Bentley. See the way the lights actually come across into the fender. Blacked out Bentley wheels. The line of the bonnet, the A-pillar, and across the roof and down is still significantly Bentley. But you can see there's a crease there, which is a little bit different. In here, the Bouchard, you've got a graphic, an audio graphic that represents the sound of the engine, the sound of the tuned W12 that's in this car, even though this design is supposed to herald a new electric era of Bentley. But this particular one, because it's a limited edition Mulliner coach-built car, it retains the W12, but in this case it's up the power and the torque of the car. So let's move around to the back. And again, the rear is very different. This kind of pinched rear here at the top. Not so much of a sort of a bustle back that is, I guess, more of a styling cure or signature of Bentleys. The exhausts do look very familiar though on this car, but the rest of it is different. And again, very slim tail lights on this thing. Look at this arrangement, it's very interesting. I wonder if this is a spoiler arrangement that actually comes up, because it feels like there are multiple panels here. It's clearly not a hatchback. There must be a boot of some kind, or maybe it is a hatchback actually. Yeah, actually it may be, because this is a full panel. But there must be a spoiler arrangement in there. Abramovich, the aftermarket exhaust company. That's who is supplying the exhaust for this thing. But incredible interior on this thing. But the interior is, to be honest, apart from a few bespoke bits, it does pretty much look Bentley GT to me. So really it's all about the exterior. So let me know what you think of this Bentley Batour. Here it is in the metal. It's got presence, it's got style, but is it a Bentley? At a glance it's recognizably a Bentley, but when you look at it closely, I'm less certain. Still, it's a thing. McLaren Senna, definitely my least favorite McLaren. It just looks odd. It's just the cuts and the bits and the pieces and the shape, and it just doesn't gel for me. F12 TDF, Cullinan, we have Electrogenic. So these are the guys that I've done features for. In fact, you'll see a review of the Porsche 356, that's probably the same one actually, that actual car that I've reviewed, driven around the Bicester track actually. So these are conversions, these are classic cars that have been converted to electric, and this Porsche 356 retains the manual gearbox. It's actually really good fun to drive, so that's absolutely hilarious. Moving across, we've got Chicane. These are just Aston Martins, proper old school Aston Martins with engines fully restored. So this is a restoration that happens. And then we have Everati, and Everati again are people known for converting classics to electric. So Land Rover, that's quite well known now. It's been in all the magazines, lots of pictures, Instagram posts, etc. So social media. That's a new one. I haven't seen that before, but that looks really cool. Actually, to me, that's a 911. That's a 911 I'd like to own. And so this is the Ford GT40 that Everati built as a ground-up electric car. You can hear it humming. That sound is coming from the speakers, and apparently it's been turned down because it could be much louder than that. But this is full electric. This is essentially a brand new car. It's classed as a brand new car because they take the chassis and the body shell from Superperformance, and then they basically install the drivetrain, which is the electric drivetrain. Beautiful looking thing, beautifully finished. Sound is contentious for a lot of people. I think it's brilliant. I think it's hilarious. I'd love to have a go in one. Maybe. Stay tuned. Might try and do something with these guys soon. But that's a beautiful piece of kit. Similar to that, and it's a bit of a walk. I don't think there's anybody with it. But over here we have the Charge Cars Mustang, and that's again, it's the same story where they've taken licensed body shells for a Ford Mustang, but built a brand new car from the ground up, which is all electric. I saw this also at Salon Turbe London. Sat in the car, good fit for me, if I do say so myself. However, would I have an electric Mustang? I don't know what it is about the Mustang. But whereas I'm warming to the idea of electric cars for sure, and I'm even warming to the idea of converting classics to electrics, and there's some logic in it as well, which I'll maybe leave that for another video. But to convert a Mustang to electric, well, maybe not convert in this case because that's built new from the ground up, but just the notion of an electric Mustang, because the whole thing about the Mustang is of course the engine. Jury's out. We will try and figure that out as we try and unravel most things in life these days. It's a Persia Riviera shooting. And look at this Discovery. £25,000 for this one. 1962 Mark II manual. sure it was driven here because I'm pretty sure I saw it driving here last year. Pretty sure it's the same car. Total awesomeness to drive that on the roads in London in traffic. I've seen this before as well. Nice little oddity. The Unipower GT. Mini base, I think. Adorable little thing. You know, these used to be hated at one point, and now suddenly they're looking so good. It's again one of those things, isn't it, where cars come of age sometimes at different times. And I've seen these in really neglected condition, really sort of being used and abused, but suddenly this one is immaculate and it looks fantastic for it. And suddenly I'm finding myself wanting one. Imagine that. Oh, but this thing, oh, icon, hero, the myth, the legend. Love it. 456, love these. I think these are looking better than ever, and I loved them when they first came out. And they were just so handsome and elegant, and actually really good fun to drive as well. I was actually taken aback by just how nimble and agile and sporty that thing was. I drove it years ago. This thing is quite extraordinary. It seems to me that this is a resto mod 308 Ferrari in orange, just like the Matchbox model of the car that I used to have. But you'll notice at the front, it's a little bit of a different treatment there. Quite a lot of carbon fiber. You'll notice the wing mirrors are carbon fiber, and there's carbon fiber diffuser at the back as well as that splitter at the front. Those little lights. 3.8, 3.7 litre. It's kind of like a modernization of an iconic classic.
shout out and thanks to Jay Williams over at Air Technic, who are top tier sponsors of Brown Car Guy. Check them out at Air Technic Co. UK for exhausts, brakes, suspension and body kits. Plus our other major sponsor, Nayagen Solutions. Much appreciation also to Tier 4 sponsors, Muhammad Ali Humaid, Tom Conway Gordon and Reza Adil. And of course all these other guys who supporting on Patreon. Brown Car Guy is eternally grateful. Hey, think about joining them over at patreon.com Brown Car Guy. If you can't, don't worry. Just make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel and website. Plus follow on social media by searching for Brown Car Guy.